Hello and welcome to DFS Coach Talk. Today is Thursday, May the 19th, 2022. I am Joe Sarvati, affectionately known as Coach, and I am here to discuss the MLB slate for today. We have several games spread out through the afternoon and evening, and we're going to go through all of those games as we talk about certain BVP plays, stacks, HR calls, our prize picks plays, and then, of course, our pay up value and fade pitchers. No Crash Davis today. He has the day off. Well deserved. He's been killing it for us in baseball. And if you're new to the channel here, we would ask you to please hit that thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and click the little alarm in the upper corner so you know when any of our podcasts post. That's if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening audio-wise, give us a quick review. Also, click that alarm alert so that you know when our podcast posts. We're going to hit all of these games today, whether you're playing either slate, give you a couple of ideas to build that lineup. We do that every day in Major League Baseball. If you want to be more a part of it, get more information, more lineups, more content, you want to go to dfscoachtalk.com. You can sign up with as little as a 3-day pass for $10. Great time to do that because when you sign up at Coach Talk, you get everything that we offer. Right now, this next 3 days, you'll get all of our PGA championship coverage, which we give out lineups on Fridays for the weekend only. We've got all our MLB pods and slates. Same thing with the NBA now with the conference finals. So come and give us a try. We would absolutely love to have you. Let's take a quick look at the slate today just to get an idea of the lay of the land. I don't think we're going to lose any games at all from weather, so that's a big plus. We've got some early games. There's actually 5 games that take place in the afternoon. First one is Yankees-Orioles with Jordan Montgomery against Bruce Zimmerman. That's got an 8 total. And then San Diego Phillies at 105, Yu Darvish versus Kyle Gibson, an 8 total in that game. We have the Reds Guardians with Mr. Tyler Mahle against Cal Quantrill. That is a 7.5 total. 110 game, St. Louis Cardinals, New York Mets, Dakota Hudson versus Chris Bassett. Only 7 total, lowest on the board. Then the last early game, it's a 210er, White Sox Royals, Vince Velasquez against Carlos Hernandez. Going to have a lot of White Sox stacks, I think, coming. This is the highest total on the board at 9.5. And then the 3-game evening slate, Seattle versus Boston. A little cool in Boston tonight, but the total in this game is still 9. You have George Kirby versus the veteran Rich Hill. 7:40 game, D-backs versus Cubs, Zach Gallen, who's going to be pretty darn chalky, against Marcus Stroman, a total of 8 in that game. And then the latest game on the slate's only an 8:10 Eastern, so no super late games tonight. Have the chance, I guess, to focus just on that NBA Miami game, see how that goes for the NBA. All right, that last game is the Rangers Astros. It is an 8.5 total. Again, Glenn Otto versus Framber Valdez. All right, we're going to dive in. If you're new to the podcast, thank you for joining in. We'd love to have you every day. Come and join us here in the mornings. We're getting ready for the slate every day, and we pretty much go over our pitching selections. Like I said, BVP, stacks, HR call, and then, of course, our prize picks plays. And speaking of prize picks, they are the sponsor of this podcast. And if you don't have a prize picks account yet, I don't know what you're waiting for. Go to prizepicks.com. Phenomenal site, very usable, very user-friendly, and great place to play the props. Super add-on to what you're doing DFS-wise. And we're providing prize picks for all of our sports in our Discord and on these podcasts. But if you go to prizepicks.com and sign up for the first time, your first deposit, they will match you dollar for dollar all the way up to $100 if you use that promo code CoachTalk, all one word, no space. All right, pay up pitcher, I mentioned it earlier. It's Zach Gallen. Not going to even mess around. He's 2-0 with a 1.05 going against a a very shaky Cubs offense. I think it's a great spot for him. He's had 5 games in a row with 20 plus fantasy points. So you can feel comfortable that you're going to get a solid outing for him from Zach Gallen. And the Diamondbacks, as much as they don't hit, they're 18-21. They've at least played reasonable ball. So Zach Gallen, definitely my pick here. He's 10-3 on DraftKings, so it is a pay up. But on top of that, the Cubs are ranked 10th overall in most strikeouts per team. So I think you can feel pretty good that you're going to get a solid game with some good strikeouts from Zach Gallen. My value pitcher is a little bit of a surprise. It's on the early, let's see, is it the early slate? No, it's the 7-10. So it's also on, there's your SP 1 and 2. Zach Gallen, the 1, Rich Hill, the 2. I know he's a veteran. He's getting older, but, he's 1-1 with a 2.89, which is very reasonable. And he's so cheap. He's 6,500. I mean, that's SP2 written all over it. Allows me to get to some of the stacks that I want to get to. And he's been okay. I mean, he strikes some batters out. Seattle's not a bad squad. They're a decent hitting team, but they're also, 4 games under 500. They're not exactly killing the ball. And I just think it's a good fit for him. And he's had 4, which you could consider strong outings in a row. So, he should be enough to get it done. He's not going to break the slate, in my opinion, but enough to get it done as an SP2. My fade pitcher is happens to be on the early slate, I believe. Let's make sure. Yes, it's that 105 game, and it's Yu Darvish. I got doped into playing him as my SP2 last time, and I just keep talking about how his game is fading. He's really losing velocity, and he's losing spin rate. So either he's hurt, old, whatever combination thereof, but Yu is not the guy to go to right now. And I painfully watched every pitch last time he pitched, and he was really struggling. He is 3-1, but it's because they hit for him. He's got a 4.62 ERA, and he's going against that potent Philly lineup with some lefty bashers. Schwarber probably going to lead off. Harper, they've got guys up and down that lineup. Herrera even down maybe in like the 7 hole, being able to hit Darvish here. So I really think he's your fade pitcher, and he's $8,700. So not a difficult fade for me. All right, let's talk about our PrizePicks plays. That leads right into it. My 2 PrizePicks plays for pitcher and hitter today. It's Yu Darvish under 31.5 fantasy points. I don't think he lasts long enough. I do think he'll get a few strikeouts, but I think they'll knock him out of the game before he gets over that 30-point mark. So at 31.5 under Yu Darvish fantasy score. Hitting, I'm going to go with Bregman. 1.5 hits and walks over. I really like the way he's looked at the plate recently. He's batting steady in that 3 hole. He goes against Glenn Otto from Texas. It's in Houston. He's got a good eye. So between hits and walks, over 1.5, I think is a real concrete play on PrizePicks. All right, let's talk about BVP. Let's jump to that. And I'm going to zone in on a couple of guys here. The first guy is my BVP play for the day is Eric Hosmer, and it's against Kyle Gibson. He's faced Gibson 43 times, so he's seen him a lot. He's got 13 hits, batting a nice 302, 4 of them for extra bases. He's got a homer, 10 ribbies, and here's what I love, 8 walks. So he's, really sees the plate well in general, and obviously does very well against Gibson. So that combo, seen him 43 times with 13 hits and 8 walks, and being able to take him deep. Hose is my BVP play of the day. As far as stacks go, I mentioned it earlier. I really think the Chicago White Sox in that 2:10 game in the afternoon, great stack against Carlos Hernandez. you can go really top, man, you can almost go all the way down, all 9 guys. I wouldn't, where you start or stop your stack, if it's Anderson, Makata, Abreu, Robert, Grandel, Vaughn, Sheets, Pollock, and Harrison, I mean, I'm not afraid to play any of those guys. So you can do a wraparound stack. You can go, if you want to try to be a little cheaper, you could go maybe a Robert, Grandel, Vaughn, Sheets, Pollock. I really like, this grouping today. I think they smack him around. Poor old Carlos Hernandez is 0-3 with a 9.11 ERA. Yes, 9.11. So if that's not appropriate, I don't know what is. So stack up those White Sox for sure. And then I want to put a stack in there for the evening games. And again, it's a little bit tougher because there's not just dead fade pitchers for me, but it's hard not to want to stack Houston. I mean, Glenn Otto's not good. He's not the worst pitcher in the league, but he has been getting smashed. He's got a 1-1 record, but a big fat 6.38 ERA. And Houston's just smashing the ball. And you talk about being able to play any spots of this order. I mean, Altuve on fire. You have Brantley, Alvarez, Tucker, all from the left side against Otto, all dangerous. They'll probably bat second, fourth, and sixth. And then, like I said, you have Bregman in there third. And even at the bottom of that lineup, Jeremy Pena has been looking better and better. Chas McCormick went deep in a couple of games in a row. So really think that Houston stack is going to get it done for you. All right, HR call for the day. We're going to go back to this White Sox game because I always think it's great to go with a player that you think is going to be in that stack that you want to focus on. And for me, it's going to be Jose Abreu. I think he's a terrific play here against Carlos Hernandez. I think he's due. He's batting a horrendous 212 this year, but with 3 homers and 14 ribbies. So I think he's due to break out. He certainly has not been hot of late, but we'll look at his last couple of games. And, what I'm thinking is we've got to get hot here somewhere. He had a stretch of games where he went 0 for like a billion. And then they gave him the day off on a Tuesday, sat him down, trying to get him zoned in. He played yesterday. He got 9.2 FanDuel points, but he did get a hit, a run scored, a double. So, right before he sat the second game of the doubleheader, he did have 2 hits. So he's starting to show signs, and he drove a double again. He's just been devoid of power. So it is gutsy to call him as a home run play here today, but I think you're going to get him at lower ownership than you normally would just because he hasn't hit the ball that well and he's not cheap. But as part of that stack, I just think that I really think he has the potential here to go deep. And also, I'll just mention Hosmer again. I love Hosmer against Kyle Gibson today. I think that makes perfect sense. All right, that gives you a look at our the slate today. I hope this really helps you build some real winners. We'll be back. Deb and I will be doing the NBA preview of podcast for tonight's game with the Boston Celtics and Miami Heat. Please join that one. If you're watching the PGA Championship, that's what I'm going to go do right now. I'm excited for that. We do have our PGA podcast up as well. So really appreciate it. Hope you can post some winners in here. We'd love to see when you have some takedowns. Let us know right here in YouTube, or you can catch us on Twitter. We're all at DFS Coach Talk. I am at Joe Sarvadi, JoeSarvadi, or you can catch Crash at JP Davis 1982. So thank you so much for joining in. Really appreciate it. And we'll be posting stuff in Discord all day. Come join us, dfscoachtalk.com. You can find all your needs right there for membership. Have a great Thursday, and we will talk to you again tomorrow when we look to crush it in MLB, DFS, and PrizePicks.